I'll tell you right now. If you ever see a luxury SUV half buried in a Nebraska mud trench, sticker flapping in the wind, owner stomping around like she's auditioning for a daytime soap, you know. Somebody finally snapped. But let's get one thing straight from the jump. I didn't touch it. Not a finger. That car got the boot courtesy of my gravity-assisted ejection system. And buddy, she earned every inch of that muddy shame. You want to know how a shiny HOA board member's ride ends up looking like an abandoned hippo in my field? Pour yourself a coffee, settle in. This one's got it all. See, that morning wasn't supposed to be memorable. I'm out on the porch, coffee steaming in the cold spring air, real Nebraska cold, the kind that makes your bones snap awake even if your brain's still lagging behind. I'm just on my usual route, planning to check the cattle, probably humming some old tune, when bam, there it is. Blinding white metal, sun bouncing off it. Just sitting there like a lost spaceship. Karen's SUV. Not just any SUV, but the exact one that's been cutting ruts across my land for half a year. Only now, it wasn't trespassing anymore. It was stuck. No, more than stuck. Half swallowed by the trench at the edge of my field. The back end looked ashamed, the front tires clawing uselessly at open air. The passenger mirror swung from a wire. Mud painted across the windshield like Mother Nature herself was sick of its attitude. And, honest to God, on the back, smeared brown and barely hanging on, was her HOA board member sticker. The sight was poetry. Right below it, her prized decal. Live, laugh, love, now just said live law. The rest swallowed by mud. I laughed out loud, couldn't help it. You ever see karma do a magic trick? That was my morning. Let me say this one more time, for the people in the back. I didn't push that car, didn't tow it, didn't even nudge it with a pinky. Physics did all the work. And by physics, I mean the contraption I spent 6 months building after warnings, letters, lawyering up, and, oh, about 1,000 destroyed seedlings. Watching her car slowly sink deeper. I wasn't even mad. I was calm. Because this was always going to happen. But how we get here? Well, let me back up a sec. I wasn't born a farmer. For 20 years, I was one of those office ghosts. Logistics, mechanical planning. Yeah, real sexy stuff. I kept freight moving, warehouses humming, the whole world ticking along while nobody noticed. People said I could see blueprints behind problems, figure out how things fit. Maybe, but talent doesn't shield you from burnout. Somewhere around the 15th urgent late-night conference call, something in me just broke. No drama. No storming out. Just me, in a flickering break room at 11 p.m., thinking, I can't do this anymore. So I stopped, saved up, hunted for land, and finally found it. 70 acres of rolling pasture. A broken-down barn, clean sky, and, here's the kicker, just outside the Green Meadows HOA line. Not in, not partially, fully outside. At the time, all I knew about HOAs were the punchlines. Paint your door wrong, they'll fine you. Let your grass grow, they'll send the SWAT team. All good for a laugh, until you're the one on the border. That first day, I stood in an empty field and, for the first time in forever, heard nothing but wind in the grass, creaky barn wood, and a few bugs tuning up for the night. I thought, this is home. This is my shot at peace. Spent months fixing the farmhouse, rebuilding the barn, bought some cattle, planted corn. My day was dirt under the nails, sun on my face. Honest work that left me tired but happy. The HOA neighborhood next door was a universe apart, identical houses, 3-car driveways, not a weed out of place. We had a silent truce. They stuck to their kingdom, I stuck to mine. But peace? Peace is like honey to flies. There's always someone who just can't handle not being in control. Enter Karen. You ever meet someone and instantly think, yup, your trouble with a capital T? That was her. She came gliding up. My drive one slow, blue sky Thursday in a pearl-white luxury SUV, sunglasses big enough to block out the sun. At first, I figured she was lost. City folks get turned around out here all the time, so I waved, ready to play the friendly neighbor. She just kept going. Right off the gravel, straight into my field, tires digging deep lines through the young corn. She parked, stepped out like she was strutting a fashion show, hair perfect, heels stabbing into my land. I called out, "Ma'am, this is private property." She didn't even glance my way. Clicked her fob, locked up, and sauntered off. toward the HOA houses. Ma'am, you can't park here. I tried again louder. She turned, slow, dramatic, like she was about to recite a Shakespeare monologue. Relax, it's just grass. That's my corn, I said. She peered down, smirked, and let out a laugh that could peel paint. This is common access, she declared, like that meant anything. We've always used this as overflow parking. HOA has it documented. I just blinked. No, ma'am. This is my deeded farm, all 70 acres. She shot back. Oh, you're new. You'll get it. Then she walked around me, like I was a scarecrow, only an hour. Not a big deal. And just like that, she vanished. You want to know what I did? Nothing. Not a word, not a threat. Because, you see, in Nebraska, the first incident is a test. The second is confirmation. The third? Well, that's when you know action's coming. A couple days later, the engine's back. Same white whale, same disregard. This time, she cut a whole new diagonal path, chewing up more of my hard work. Didn't even look at me, just waltzed off again. I stood there, watching the tire tracks, feeling my patience unravel. The third time, she tore across the field like she was chasing a record, mud flying, corn snapping, music blasting. She honked, twice, like a kid daring me to do something. And that, my friends, was just the start. Because soon it was her friends, too. Fancy SUVs, minivans, sedans, even a lady who waved at me like I was the help. My land became their parking lot. Karen, though, always led the charge. One afternoon, she let her little designer dog loose, spooked my cattle so bad, one heifer twisted her leg. When I told her, she rolled her eyes. Maybe you should train your cows to be less dramatic. Yeah, that happened. So, I did what every reasonable person does. Put up signs. Big, bold, can't miss it signs. Private property. No parking. Trespassers prosecuted. You think it worked? Huh. Next day, Karen just shrugged, drove right past, splashed mud on the sign for good measure. That was defiance, plain and simple. Lawyer up, right? So I did. My attorney Jim, sharp guy, no nonsense, sent her a certified cease and desist. She signed for it. Next morning, I find it shredded, confetti style, in the mud. Then comes her email, complete with a hand-drawn easement map in pink highlighter, like a middle school art project, with a fake community access zone labeled. I replied, this map isn't valid. There's no easement on my deed. Her answer? We'll see about that. That's when things got ugly. Karen called the sheriff on me, played the help. I'm a victim card. Sheriff Morrison showed up, sensible guy. She spun a story about me threatening her, running at her car, screaming obscenities. All lies. I just showed him the videos, trail cam footage, timestamps, the works. Karen started yelling about manipulated evidence. Sheriff just shook his head. Ma'am, these are standard trail cams. This land is private property. But Karen? She wasn't scared, wasn't backing down. She upped the ante, drove faster, more recklessly, engine roaring. Across my land, music blasting, honking like she owned the sunrise. Then she swerved through my grazing area, spooked Daisy, one of my gentlest heifers, so badly the poor thing fell, and days later, miscarried her calf. That broke something in me. Not anger, resolve. Karen hadn't just disrespected boundaries. She'd hurt something innocent. No more warnings, no more signs, no more lawyer letters. If she wouldn't respect the line, I'd build one she couldn't ignore. So I built it, a gravity-assisted ejection platform. Picture a strong, flat wooden deck, looks innocent enough, but beneath? Steel hinges, a hidden tilt, a lock that, when released, sends anything heavy sliding straight off into a mudcatch trench. Tested it myself, old farm truck and all. Posted warnings everywhere. Filmed the whole setup, gave copies to my lawyer, the county, even the sheriff's office. Left nothing to chance. The finishing touch? A big shiny VIP parking, authorized personnel only sign. Smack in the middle. That's like a siren song to folks like Karen. The moment she saw it, I knew she'd take the bait. And oh, she did. Fourth day after setup, here she comes, sunglasses glinting. Engine purring, turns off the road with all the confidence in the world. Drives right onto the platform, wheels hitting those grooves I sanded just for her. I'm standing 40 yards off. Camera rolling, megaphone in hand. Attention driver of the white SUV. I call out. You are parked on active farm equipment. Move your vehicle immediately. This is your only warning. She leans out. Middle finger up. Your scare tactics don't work on me, she yells. I count down, 10 seconds. She dares me. Do it. I did. Pulled the lever. The lock snapped. Platform tilted. That SUV slid off. Smoother than a greased pig at the county fair, straight into the mud trench. Kersplat. Silence. Then the engine sputtered, coughed, died. Karen just sat there, sunglasses askew, looking like she'd seen a ghost. Then came the shouting. The accusations. You tried to kill me. This is illegal. On and on. I kept the camera steady, showed her the video. Her own voice. Do it. She changed. Tactics. Called her husband. Her lawyer. Nobody came to her rescue. Not this time. Sheriff Morrison showed up, watched the footage, inspected the platform, and deadpanned. Well, ma'am, technically, gravity isn't illegal. I nearly lost it right there. She tried everything. Cried, blamed, ranted, threatened lawsuits. Insurance wouldn't touch it. Not covered under willful trespassing or gravity. Experiments. Her friends in the HOA? Silent. Board privileges suspended. Even her husband stopped taking her calls. When Walt, the county's most sarcastic tow truck guy, winched the SUV out. The whole thing felt like a scene from a dark comedy. The final humiliation. The live, laugh, love decal now just read, live laugh. Even the mud was in on the joke. I watched them all drive. Away, Karen in the sheriff's car, her SUV on a flatbed, HOA apologizing with a bland letter 2 days later. The field was quiet for the first time in 6 months. Just me, my land, the cattle, the wind. I sat on my porch, sun dipping low, finally at peace. So next time somebody asks what happened to Karen's SUV, here's the truth. I didn't touch it. Gravity did. But here's what I really want to know. When it comes to justice and standing your ground, where do you draw the line? Was I right? Was I wrong? Let me know in the comments. Share your stories, your take on boundaries. And if you've ever had to give karma a little nudge, I'll be out here, keeping an eye on the fence and the laws of physics.